Moxie, congratulations on your film and your inclusion in this project. How do you feel?
I feel amazing and surreal.
I had the opportunity to watch this film with my daughter, who, as soon as we started it, we got into talking about one of our experiences because when she gets like toys from like McDonald's, they always ask her boy or girl, and she's always like, "Well, what if I want the car? Why does it have to be labeled?" And it shocked me when she said it one time. It goes right into your film though, which at times frustrated us. Can you talk about your vision for the film and yeah, the little princess?
Yeah, definitely. I first of all, like the kids are the best. They see the truth right away. Um, and I think the point of me making this movie is also like sort of I kind of want to return to that like naiveness of our childhood and like how we see things clear and we can accept each other and love each other without all the filters and judgments that the society later brought on to us. So The Little Princess is a story about acceptance, and it's a story that it's inspired by an event that happened to me when I was a kid. So I was Gabriel. I was like feminine. I was into like princess and like pink and our stuff. And then I became best friends with the other kid, and his dad had a problem with us, and he came over to our dinner and told my dad that I was not normal. I need to be fixed, and I started to cry. I felt like I let my parents down, and my dad stood up for me and told him that he loved me for who I am and he will always be there for me even if I like things that's not conventional. So that day and that event really saved me and made me feel like I can have the freedom to explore things and I don't have to fit in a box.
Absolutely. You hit it right on the head. I think the message we took away was the positive or negative influence that adults can have on these kids. And as a parent myself, it was really thought provoking because I want to make sure that I'm doing the same for my daughter. And that's why I really appreciate your film. Because adults can really, well, they look up to us, right? The kids.
Yeah.
uh, so what I want to ask you also is, what was it like for you to write and direct for these kids in your film to make sure they had the right tone? And sometimes could be a little bit challenging for them to get it because they're innocent.
Yes. We are very lucky that we found Kayla Moss for Gabriel and Ryan Hu for Rob. They're both like very natural and very smart kids. So like I think when we cast them, their parents are just like very supportive and told them the stories, kind of like in their ways, right? Like explain it to them. So the kids really understood the story. They were like, oh, this is just a kid about
Mhm.
this kid likes his friend and his dad doesn't like him. His dad is not good. And they kind of have their own interpretation right away. So, and really, they're both very amazing and they have the sensibility of like being the character. So we really didn't do much work. We just brought them to set, and
Mhm.
when we rolled the camera, they are just being themselves, and they brought the characters to life. There's definitely like a challenge of explaining some sort of like you know like the subject of being non-binary or being queer. I think for kids, they don't see things with so many labels. They just see
Mhm.
them as like, oh, this kid likes such stuff, and they are maybe a little feminine, and they don't have those boxes for us actually. So it's very easy for them to actually just like be themselves and tell the stories on their ways.
See, for me personally, I don't like the term feminine behavior because there's nothing wrong with being in touch with certain emotions. I think as males and females, we should have a good balance, and you shouldn't be persecuted for it. And it's something that I'm Hispanic, and it's just clear, as far as your culture as well. It's a problem when a guy shows his emotions.
Yeah, yeah, I think the society has this very rigid like binary of like what gender is like, and they create these boxes for us so we can fit in, which it's doing more damaging than being constructive right
Mhm.
now. Especially, I think a lot of people started to appreciate the in-betweenness, the gray area, the complexity of one's identity. So I think we are definitely moving to the right direction, and it's also like a time for us to sort of like redefine what it is, what it means to be feminine and masculine.
Well, I appreciate your time, Moxie. Congratulations on the film, and I'm very excited that you're gonna have your film on Disney Plus for millions to see around the world, because hopefully it can turn some more good conversations and maybe even flip some opinions.
Yeah, I'm excited too. Thank you so much.
Moxie, thanks again.